Hello, fifth grade. Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about Rome as a republic. So far, we've talked a little bit about the geography of the Roman Empire and how they built their empire using outposts along roads and rivers. And now we're going to talk about what's known as the Republic time period of the Romans. Okay. So everything you see on this page, we're going to add to our notebook in one way or another. And these blanks are going to get filled in for our conversation during today. Okay. So your assignment for today is to listen to this whole thing, fill in all the information, and then send me either a picture of your notebook page, or if you're typing it out somewhere, you can just share that document with me. But you really have to show me the evidence that you listened to the whole thing and you wrote down all the information in the notes. Okay, so let's get started. First thing, you need the title. You need the title Rome as a Republic because later on we're going to talk about what's known as the Roman Empire. And that's a different time period. So Rome as a Republic is a very specific time period at the beginning. Okay, so Rome as a Republic is the title. The next thing I would write is right here. The question, what is a republic? So you need to write the question down and the answer that's going to go in this blank I'm about to tell you right now. So the answer that goes in that blank is that a republic is a form of government when citizens elect their leaders. So that's what goes in this space right here. A form of government when citizens elect their leaders. We've talked about this a little bit before with different civilizations, but when you have citizens work together and they vote on things and they vote for their leaders, they have elections, that's known as a republic. Okay, so the next thing down we're going to add as well. You can put it on the next line or you can put it in a box. But the next step is to kind of tell you all that Roman society is actually divided into two classes. And you can see them listed down here with these pictures and with these information boxes. We're going to get to them. So the two classes or the two levels of Roman society are what's known as the patricians, which are these people over here, and the plebeians, which is this group over here. Okay. Now, to break these down, if you want to draw a little picture of them, you can. It'll remind you that the patricians are kind of the upper class, more fancy group, and the plebeians are the lower class group. Obviously, they're not as well dressed, things like that. Okay. So, aside from drawing a little picture of each of them, let's get into this box right here about the patricians and the plebeians. Okay, first thing, do you need this information? Yes. So, if you want to put the titles, or if you want to make boxes, or if you just want to make the bullet points, you can put this section any way that you want, but you're going to need all of it. Okay, so first thing, the title. The patricians. They were the ruling class. So the word ruling goes into this blank right here. They were the ruling class, or what we would call today the upper class. The next bullet point, they were wealthy. So they were rich or they were wealthy, goes into this space right here. And last of their bullet points is that they were land owners. Okay, so you fill in this blank with land, and then that's all your bullet points for this patricians side. Okay, so they're the upper class. They're obviously more wealthy, they have more money, and they own more land. Let's jump over to the plebeian side. Okay, so you're going to need the word plebeians again. And this blank is going to be the word poor. They are very poor, first of all. This next word down is the word artisans. Now, it's kind of like our word for art, but it's a little different. So what you're going to put behind it over here is a definition. And I'm going to tell you that right now, that artisans are people that make things by hand. And usually they specify in one thing. So they're people that make things by hand. And usually they become an expert in making one thing, like clothes or types of furniture, things of that nature. So most plebeians are artisans who use their hands to make things and create things. Third one here is just the fact that they're shopkeepers, so they can be little small business owners, keep small shops. The last one here, they are owners of small farms. Okay, so they don't own as much land as these guys over here, the patricians, but they are owners of small farms. So those are all of these blanks on this side. Okay, so now we're done with this middle section. The last two parts here, you have a blue box and a red box. The blue box is things that both groups could do. So we're going to list a few things down here in 1, 2, 3, and 4 that both groups could do in society. The red box over here is specifically things that plebeians could not do. Okay, so plebeians could not blank, blank, and blank, which we're going to get to. Okay, so let's jump over to the both. Both groups, for number 1, were citizens. So you can put that they both were citizens. Second one down, they both could vote. So they could both vote. Number 3, both of them paid taxes. And the last one here is kind of a long answer, but they could both serve in the army. So they could both groups serve in the Roman army. So you have that they were citizens, they could vote, they paid taxes, and they both served in the army. All right. The last box here that we're going to talk about is that the plebeians could not do some specific things. There were more of them, but they were seen as the lower class. So for number 1, plebeians could not marry anybody who was a patrician. Okay, so basically plebeians could not marry somebody from over in this patrician's social class. So number 1, they could not marry a patrician. Number 2, they could not hold public office. So they're going to be involved in the government in some ways, but they can't be like the leader of the whole Roman Empire. So at this point, number 2, they could not hold public office. And lastly, for number 3, they could not lead ceremonies. Now, leading ceremonies at that time period meant holding a ceremony or holding a festival in honor of the gods and goddesses and things like that. So the plebeians were not seen as necessarily maybe smart enough, or they didn't have the money to put it on. So if they were going to hold any festival or any ceremony for a god or goddess, the patricians were supposed to be in charge of that. Okay, so that wraps this conversation up for today. Again, what you all want to show me, what you all want to send me is a picture or share some kind of file or document that shows that you listened to all of this and that you have all of this information that we've just talked about written down or typed out in some way. Okay, so if you just listen to the video and then you go on the comment board and you say, I watched the video and that's all you do, I'm not going to be able to give you any points yet. Okay, so make sure that you give me something. Okay, as always, I hope you guys are staying well. I hope you're staying healthy, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye bye.